We just came live.
Oh, well, hello everyone, and welcome to a very, very delayed Black Site, or sorry, Bunker 33. I'm the host tonight, of course, Quitty's the Sprinkler, and our producer, as always, is Chrismer. How you doing tonight, Chrismer?
I was about to have a panic attack because everything just stopped fucking working.
Yeah, you guys kind of missed out. Like, one thing would start working and another thing would break. It was kind of hilarious. Like his microphone started doing weird things, and then his headphones stopped working, and then the videos wouldn't play sound, and yeah, we finally got through it though.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we've got a couple of
we got it. I hope we have it sorted. So,
knock on wood. Everyone cross your fingers. We'll see here when we start the first video.
ow,
And it's going to be hilarious if,
ow!
the viewers can't actually hear it.
I literally knocked on wood just then and hurt my knuckles.
Nice. Yes, the stream is going to be very epic, Glober Mom. We are going to prove that UFOs are indeed aliens tonight. And everyone, watch your buttholes because there may be some anal probing going on.
What? I didn't agree to that. Only let one person probe me. Thank you very much.
That's in the bunker contract. You actually agreed to it when you signed on to be on the bunker.
God damn it.
So
okay, I guess.
It's the fine print. You got to read the fine print.
Always.
All right. So we've got a couple of guests tonight. First is the Batch. How you doing tonight, Batch?
I'm doing all right.
Good to have you. And of course, the wonderful For No Raisin. How you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm doing all right. It'd be a fun and very interesting night, at least.
It's already been very interesting.
Yeah.
Chrismer and I have been in this call now for an hour and a half, and we didn't think to go over tech stuff until 1 minute before the stream started, because that's the way we do things at Bunker 33.
Yeah, we really should rework that idea.
We sat around listening to music videos for about 50 minutes and then talked about a couple of things and then checked audio levels, and everything went to hell. And of course, yes, my health plan does cover lube because I go through a lot of lube. But the lube is not covered for the anal probes. The anal probes go in dry. So, if you want to, go ahead and spit on your hand, wipe it on your butthole, get it nice and moist. And
moist.
We're gonna ram this thing on up there with our first video.
You didn't have any hopes of monetization for this channel, did you? But we don't even need to watch the video. I can make this whole thing simple.
So I actually just realized, Chrismer, that I meant for these two videos to be played opposite. So instead of the video you have up, go to the other one about the FLIR.
Well, actually, I have one I want to play before everything else.
Oh, okay.
Because
back out here live, we will have.
Actually,
well, I'll let you introduce it since this is the video you thought of. So go for it.
No. This doesn't even need introduction because you will instantly get it as soon as I start the play button.
Well, see, before you do that, our thumbnail here says, "Are UFO sightings aliens?"
No. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
No. No show needed. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, night everyone.
All right, night everybody. I guess. See you next week.
We solved that.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna play this real quick.
Yeah. Since we're here, let's clap some alien butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Back out here live, we will have much more from the tiny community of Rachel, Nevada at
6:30. Yeah. That was a thing.
Yeah, it probably would have been better with sound, but
what the?
Yeah,
seriously,
we couldn't hear it.
Seriously, I had it.
Didn't you hear us saying we couldn't hear anything?
No, I couldn't hear you above the video because y'all had me set it up so high because you couldn't hear it earlier. So I was like, I was under the impression that y'all heard it because.
Well, we heard the other one, just not that one.
Set the same damn setup as this is going. No, this is what the fuck. How about this? Maybe this.
Okay, so Ugly German Truth says that they did have sound.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So you heard it and they heard it. It's just you're not sending audio to Discord.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I'm about okay. I will test something out real quick. I will turn the volume down so I'll be able to hear you, and they should be able to hear it.
It's claimed that the Nimitz Fleur video from 2004.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay, good. Okay, we are good and set then. Okay. Now, Quiddies, what was the Fleur video you wanted to see? This one or?
The one that I put in the green room just after this.
Okay, so that should be this one.
We are back with that newly.
Yeah,
they all autoplay right now.
Let's watch that first because the Mick West one debunks this one, so I wanted to watch this one first.
Oh, okay.
We are back with that newly revealed UFO program at the Pentagon. The government has spent millions of dollars investigating UFOs like this one right there. It was spotted by Navy pilots. And Nick Watt has a closer look at the program.
Just one of many.
Okay, I see the problem. We're getting audio through your headphones, Chrismer.
You're seriously getting audio through my headphones.
Yeah, we're not getting the audio from the video. We're getting just really sketchy audio from your headphones.
Well then, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let me see. I've already tried MME, I tried that. Let me see, maybe the WDM.
$2 million UFO unit.
That's not even showing up on my. Okay, both of those do that.
I think maybe we didn't actually have this fixed, but we thought we did because we were getting the audio from your headphones.
Me, yeah. Yeah, that might be a thing that happened.
And, you know, we really, we could play the videos and we could talk, but the thing is, we can't hear the videos to talk about what they're talking about.
Yeah. Let's try this real quick.
So welcome to Tech Night on NASA Bunker 33.
Yeah, welcome to Tech Night here, because I barely had an understanding of voice meter before this, and now this is just.
Yeah. We need Vish here to go over your voice meter and show you the one thing that you need to click. Probably.
And every time I change it to that setting, y'all suddenly turn into cans.
Oh no, I want to be an uncle, not an aunt.
A can, C-A-N, as in you're talking through a can.
Oh, I thought you said ant.
Let me see now. Maybe this? Let's see.
Still nothing.
Still nothing. Great. I have virtual input there. Okay, try this. Now try this. Okay.
Real life X-Files.
Still nothing.
Motherfucker. Some bitch piece of shit.
Well, the government's not censoring us.
Let me see now. Voicemail output. Maybe output.
Or are they?
Well, that's going through there. That's going through there.
I bet it was the Flat Earth Space Agency.
That I cannot deny.
FISA totally hacked our
Let me
system.
see. Let me see. How about this?
Here's another, what pilots describe as
Didn't hear that, did you?
Still nothing.
And that'll just mess up my voice audio. Don't do that. I had it set perfectly the other day. We played. Ugh. We had everything set up last night, working perfectly. Had no problems. Oops. Closed the wrong window again by accident.
Of course, 8-Ball.
What?
8-Ball can't even tell if my balls itch. So, I guess, what do you guys want to talk about while we're trying to fix this?
My dog's being insane right now.
Awesome. Is your dog about to get anal probed?
Yeah, he's about to if he doesn't calm the fuck down.
Aw. Maybe he hears a UFO outside and thinks that they're going to come in and anal probe you.
Maybe if I do
And
that.
maybe that's why he's going crazy. He's trying to warn you.
100 miles.
I suppose that's not possible.
Okay, try this real quick.
My
We are
dog's
back
just
with that newly revealed UFO
laying next to
program.
me, sound
Nope.
asleep. She doesn't care.
Nope, it's not picking that up.
But if I said the word tortilla,
Nope, let me see now.
her eyes just opened and she looked at me.
Is that
My
her
dog?
name?
No.
Oh,
My dog loves tortillas. And she actually tries to say the word tortilla. She of course can't form letters, but she'll bark 3 times with the inflection that I say. I'll say tortilla, and she'll say "Roo, roo, roo."
oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's
She's
too
way
funny.
too smart for her own good. I actually have video of her doing it too.
let me see.
Pentagon.
It's not picking it up on the virtual input. Why isn't it picking it up on the virtual input? It literally will not pick it up on the virtual input here. Let me try this.
The government has spent millions of dollars.
It's just
Booma's gonna clean the dome. Giggity.
real. How about this? Let's try this.
Investigating UFOs like this.
No, that's not picking up anything now. This is ruining my.
So I don't work on
Actual.
the dome cleaning crew anymore.
You don't clean your own dome?
I mean, you know, I give it a good polishing every now and then. I might have done that earlier today. May or may not have, you know.
Trying to get this sorted out. Yeah, y'all just watch the live
Any
stream.
luck yet, Christmas?
The audience can, yeah. Bishanti, just, God damn it.
Please don't tell me that Christmas' mic has gone out too. because we're hearing nothing from him, unless he might be talking to someone and just not talking to us. He says it has. This
Tuesday. There we go.
stream is
Okay.
not doing so well tonight.
I got the voice. I got my. I got the. No, I don't have the. Got,
So the dome go down, go boom boom. I thought only gas go down, go boom boom.
okay, does that? No, that didn't fix it either. Okay. Y'all just sit tight and I will have this all sorted out. I hope within. Oh God.
I'm trying to think of things we can talk about.
Well, I
While
say
we're-
conspiracy from the aliens. They're trying to keep the anal probing a secret.
There.
Maybe that's
My
what-
mic.
Oh,
My mic's working again. Okay. That's one
No, it's not.
good.
yeah,
You're
you're
all happy.
flipping really bad again.
Motherfucker. How about now?
I mean, you're still clipping.
Oh God.
But it's tolerable at this point.
Okay, let's
Say a full sentence.
blah 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 blah
Okay,
blah
never
blah.
mind.
Yeah, it's not very tolerable.
Okay, listen real
They
quick.
heard you the whole time in the audience. I'm guessing that's Vish.
Yeah.
This one right there was spotted by Navy pilot.
Nope, y'all ain't hearing that either. There are so
What?
many.
So
Okay, she says you're
wow.
not
And
talking
Nick
to the
Watt has a
audience,
What?
just us.
Yeah, just y'all. Yeah, I know. Because
Okay,
they have
now you're
a.
not clipping to us,
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Closer look at the program.
and now, well, you kind of are.
Maybe. Nope, that's not going to help any. And I lost. Let me see here. Now I lost y'all, so there we go. You're back. I think. Hello? Cut.
You're still clipping really, really badly for us.
Okay, so the only reason there is no clipping to the audience is because I have it directly set so they hear my input, not through Discord, but through my actual microphone. Meaning they hear me direct mine to Streamlabs.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I understood what you said. You have your mic run to them direct, but then you have us running through something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let me try that. I haven't tried that yet. Mother, you know what?
So, and yeah, we still can't hear the video.
Just watch it. Just watch it through YouTube. Watch it through YouTube.
Okay, give me a second because I think I closed the stream on YouTube. But yeah, we'll just have to do it and then kind of wait around. Let's see. No, I don't want derp squirrels.
No, that's in watch the stream. Watch the actual stream itself.
Yeah, I've got to pull the stream up.
Don't tell me. Talk again. Okay, y'all. Okay, I was about to say, if y'all aren't getting picked up by
Okay.
OBS, that was going to piss me off.
Okay, if we want to do it this way, that's fine. It'll just be like a 30-second delay. So what we'll do, just go ahead and play the the entire video and then we'll talk about it.
There shouldn't be a delay. Well, there shouldn't be like that long of a delay. It should only be like 5-10 seconds. So I mean, it's not too much of a delay. And y'all probably didn't hear a single word I just said because
We really can't understand what you're saying.
okay, let's go ahead and play this then.
I'm
We are
just
back
now
with that
hearing
newly
myself
revealed
say
UFO
to
program.
go ahead and play the entire video.
Like I said, about 5 seconds.
At the Pentagon. The government has spent millions of dollars investigating UFOs like this one right there was spotted by Navy pilots. And Nick Watt has a closer look at the program.
Just one of many alleged sightings investigated by the secret $22 million UFO unit run from the Pentagon.
It's rotated.
A real-life X-Files.
I've seen things that I cannot deny.
Here's another, what pilots describe as a 40-foot-long tic-tac, 100 miles off the California coast.
I have never seen anything.
Want to go ahead and pause and talk about that? Hello? Anyone? Well, I guess it's just me, because I'm not hearing anyone else say anything.
Okay, so now we're
I'm
paused.
here.
Yeah, there's a good 30-second delay there, I believe. Anyway, so yeah, they're basically saying that, you know, these FLIR videos, the actual FLIR and Tic Tac and everything is proof of aliens, but it's not. It's just people that don't understand how military technology works. And the next video we're going to watch goes in depth explaining how the technology works and why, especially the FLIR video, people say that it's going along and then just shoots off to the side really quickly, but that's not at all what's going on there. The FLIR camera is tracking it, and it loses tracking when it switches between 2 times and 1 time zoom, and so it stops panning to the left, and the object that it's tracking keeps moving to the left. That's all it is.
So, continue.
Well, anyone else want to add anything? Okay, continue.
Thing in my life that had the performance, the acceleration. Keep in mind, this thing had no wings.
Commander David Fravor was piloting an FA-18 on a training mission that day in 2004.
And it's moving around left, right, forward, back. The radar immediately starts getting jammed. All of a sudden, it takes off.
No aircraft that we know of can fly at those speeds, maneuver like that, and looks like that.
I think it was not from this world. I just know it was really impressive, really fast, and I would like to fly it.
The Pentagon telling ABC News the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program ended in the 2012 timeframe. It was determined there were other higher priority issues that merited funding.
So we always joke, maybe it was trying to communicate with something under the water. You know, I've seen Star Trek with the whales. I don't know if it was alien life, but I will say that in an infinite universe with multiple galaxies that we know of, that if we're the only planet with life, it's a pretty lonely universe.
Now, there are often rational explanations, but Commander Fravor hasn't heard one yet for his sighting. And George and Paula, according to sources quoted in the New York Times, the military still listens to soldiers and sailors and airmen, still investigates what might be out there.
I don't know, that visual, I'm not positive that it's not the Millennium Falcon I saw. Star Wars yesterday, the story broke yesterday, and it kind of looks like it rotating there in the sky, Nick, so that's my little theory.
Okay, now the video stopped. Just gotta wait for them to catch up. This is gonna be a really tough night because I'm thinking about restarting voice meter to see if that does anything. But
I couldn't
Yeah,
understand anything
might
you
be a
just
good
said.
idea.
I'm gonna try that real quick. I'm gonna try to restart the audio engine and see if that does anything. I will be gone for a good couple seconds, but here goes nothing.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and talk about this. One thing he said is that the object didn't have wings, but we're looking through an infrared camera. The infrared is only going to pick up infrared light. It's not going to pick up just the shape of the object. It's going to pick up hot and cold spots. So what you're seeing is the engine exhaust from another plane. That's all it is. You're not going to see a wing or the shape of the plane or a cockpit or anything like that.
And it kills me that when people see things like that, they just jump to maybe they were talking to something in the water. No, maybe they were just flying from point A to point B.
Exactly. Like the Tic Tac video, we're gonna watch something on that in a little while as well. The Tic Tac was just an airliner, just a passenger airliner. That's all it was. And if you understand what you're looking at, the FLIR video gives you everything you need to know about that video if you know how to read the screen.
Right.
And it's just a passenger jet flying along, cruising altitude at 300 knots or whatever it's flying at. That's all it is. But because of the way the tracking pod works on a fighter jet, the camera switches between zooms. The gimbal rotates when it reaches 0 so that it can spin the other way. And of course, it has to maintain tracking every time it switches zoom levels. It has to reacquire the tracking of the object. Every time the camera has to rotate, it has to reacquire the object. And so it looks like the object is jumping, but you don't have any reference frame, anything behind the object to reference its movement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people think it's jumping, because they think the camera is stationary and we're looking at a moving object, but
Right.
the camera is the thing that's jumping around. The object's moving at a constant momentum.
That's it. Let me check.
It kind of reminds me of how flat earthers argue and research and analyze things.
Yeah, it really is. It's, take this anomaly, not understand what you're looking at, and then take this anomaly that, if you don't know what you're looking at, looks really weird, and use it as quote unquote proof.
Right.
Of whatever you're trying to prove.
I wonder if flat earthers believe in aliens.
No.
Oh, some do, which is really funny.
Well, I say
that
no.
Sounds like
well, I say
to have.
no because they don't believe in space, so it'd be kind of impossible for them to believe in aliens.
I think some did until the whole space isn't real became more prevalent in flat Earth belief. And then they had to stop believing in it because if space is fake, you can't have aliens.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you get people like Flurf 100 Air, who doesn't believe that there's a dome. He probably believes in aliens, but he's a flat earther.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He and Nathan Thompson had a lover's quarrel because Nathan believes there's a dome and he doesn't. And so they had a spat over it. And Flurf 100 Air told Nathan that he couldn't crash on his couch anymore.
Oh my gosh.
And he also quit paying because wasn't he the one that was paying for Nathan's membership to Modern Day Debate?
Yeah.
Even though it was only like $1 a month.
Yep.
He quit paying that. Like he cut him off like they broke up.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right. And we can actually hear you now, Chrismer. I don't know if we can hear the video, but we can
Please,
hear you. So that's good.
Here's hoping.
It's claimed that the Nimitz Fleur video from 2004.
No, you're not hearing it.
No, we're not.
I can tell because it would show up on my panel here, but it's not. I don't know why.
So just play this for a couple of minutes and then stop and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Let me try one more thing. No, it just doesn't work.
Shows an unusual flying craft
not working.
performing a series of high-G maneuvers, culminating with it shooting off at an inhuman rate at the end of the video. But I think it actually shows an ordinary-seeming craft moving with constant velocity, making no sudden moves. To help demonstrate this, I made a version of the video overlaid with a timecode and larger versions of relevant information from the display. I corrected the zoom indicator changes between 1x and 2x, so they happen on the actual frame of the zoom change and not a few frames later as they do in the original. I added indicators when there's some kind of lens change or a gimbal adjustment or other events that cause apparent motion. There's a link to this version of the video in the description below. The number at the top shows the heading of the camera in degrees relative to the front of the plane. This goes from 4 degrees right to 8 degrees left. The horizon indicator in the middle shows that the plane is not turning, so this means that the object has an apparent angular movement to the left. The indicator gets a bit squirrely around 0, probably due to gimbal lock issues, but if we take the 7 degrees of motion from the start of 1 degree left at 44.15 to the start of 8 degrees left at 1:12.27, that's 7 degrees in 29 seconds and 12 frames, or about 4.2 seconds per degree of leftward motion. So we've got this object moving left. The camera is tracking it so it stays in the middle of the screen. You can't see any background in the video, so there's no visual frame of reference for the motion, but it might look something like this if there were some clouds just behind it. To accurately get the speed here, I set the field of view in the 2x narrow mode to 0.35 degrees, as found in the SCU report. So it takes about 4.2 times 0.35, or about 1.5 seconds to traverse a frame. What would happen if the camera stopped tracking the object? The object would then just keep moving left at the same angular rate, taking about 3/4 of a second to leave the narrow 2x view, and that's exactly what we see. So why would it stop tracking? Well, the camera is tracking the object visually. We know this because every time there's a physical lens change or a camera change or a sudden rotation of the camera, we can see the lock being briefly lost. You see the bars expand as it tries to reacquire the target, and they contract around it when it's locked on. But while it's locking back on, or if it never locks back on, then the object will just continue its motion to the left, looking like it's suddenly changed speed. So here's what happens in this video.
Yeah, that turned out weird.
There's
That
a
should
lens
not
change
sound like
from
that.
TV mode to IR mode. Lock is very briefly lost. The object goes to the left for a few fractions of a second, and then the camera catches up and the tracking continues. At 0:43:13, there's an interruption of the video. Lock is again briefly lost, a slight leftwards movement, and then we are locked back on again. At 0:49:06, the camera does a gimbal rotation adjustment to prepare for transiting 0 degrees. You can see that the entire scene rotates. Lock is lost, and the object ends up a bit to the left. It drifts a bit more left, and then we lock back on. At 0:55:20, there's a similar thing with a very tight circular movement and a small movement to the left. At 1:11:28, there's a lens change from narrow to medium fields of view. Because this is the same camera, there's less blanking. So as we transfer between lenses, we see the object seem to shoot off to the bottom left. It then reappears in the center, but as we've lost tracking, it moves slightly to the left. The reticle expands, we lock back on and back to tracking. At 1:14:00, a similar thing happens going back to narrow.
I'm just giving up that now.
With the change being more obscured. The object vanishes and reappears slightly to left to center. It's just outside the target reticle, and we've lost lock. The reticle expands, but the object has already started to move left. The reticle expands again, but now the object is outside and moving left. so it never gets the lock back and the object drifts leftward. We're in at 1x zoom here, so it's not moving left that fast. But then, at 1:14:14, the pilot switches from 1x to 2x zoom, causing a sudden jump in the apparent position of the object. It then continues to drift off to the left twice as fast as before, at exactly the speed we calculated earlier. So all the apparent movements we see are consistent with the object simply moving in a straight line to the left. So this is perfectly consistent with something like a distant aircraft, just flying along quite normally, making no sudden movements. So if this interpretation is correct, what does it mean? It means that To the Stars Academy is wrong. It means the experts on the History Channel were wrong. It means the SCU report is wrong. It means Jeremy Corbell was wrong. And it even means that about this one thing, Commander David Fravor was wrong.
And then when they get close, it's going to zing off the left-hand side. And off it goes to the left. And that's pretty fast to leave that field of view.
When it just sort of like leaves the field of view and takes off to the left, how fast is that going?
For something to leave the field of view that fast with the pod just staring is pretty fast. I mean, it's like out of here.
Of course, that does not mean he was wrong about anything else. Nor does this video showing something moving in a boring way mean that it's not a UFO. Nor does it mean that Fravor and other people didn't observe different things doing more exciting things at different times. It just means that, despite what everyone was saying, the Nimitz FLIR object is not an extraordinary craft. It makes no sudden moves.
And that ends that video. I didn't catch any of that because I'm trying to fix this shit.
Okay.
The experts on the History Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big quotation marks when you say History Channel X. But yeah, it's basically just these quote unquote experts not understanding what they're looking at and not using the everything on the screen to tell them what they're looking at. That's all Mick had to do, was use the information on the screen to prove that it's the T-pod is just slowly tracking to the left, and when it loses the lock on it, it stops tracking to the left,
Right.
and the object continues. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the experts are also just people who buy into the UFO thing and just want any piece of evidence to support their belief.
Oh yeah, and you know you're gonna make a lot of money and get a lot of exposure if you're a quote unquote expert going around saying that, yeah, this proves aliens.
Yeah.
And any
chance one of the videos we have queued up has Bill Burr in it?
Bill Burr? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I didn't pick a Bill Burr video.
Not Bill Burr. Crap.
Who then?
Getting my bills mixed up. Bill Burr's a comedian.
Yeah,
Bill Burns. Burns.
Bill Burns? Never heard of him either.
Mr. Burns. Didn't he build a giant dish to block out the sun?
Sorry about that.
I don't think so.
And he also
was that a Simpsons reference?
He also had the doctor's treatment every Friday night, and they would dilate his eyes and dope him up with morphine. And of course, his skin had that healthy green glow from the years of radiation at the nuclear plant. So he would just wander off and meander through the woods, and they thought he was an alien. But it just turned out to be an old man.
Yeah.
As with everything, and I've had people that have said, I've seen aliens before because I saw a UFO. And I try to tell them that a UFO just means that you don't know what that object is. That's it.
UFO literally means unidentified flying object.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's aliens. Just because you see something in the sky that you don't know what it is, that doesn't mean it's aliens. And if we go back to, uh, Roswell, New Mexico,
Oh boy.
people saw a lot of weird things in the sky around there back in the day. And the Air Force just happened to be testing some very strange designed aircraft when these people saw strange objects flying in the sky.
Nice segue, by the way. Because that's the next video we're doing. Because that's the next video we're doing.
You like that segue, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
All right. So I guess we're just going to have to play the entire video, because if you pause it, it's going to be 30 seconds before we realize it's paused.
Yeah.
So just same thing, just play the entire video.
I've got the stream, the Discord stream on one screen. I've got YouTube on the other screen, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on it to see when Christopher pauses it. So
okay,
yeah,
that'll work.
It's just easier, because it's still going to be weird, because we'll cut the audio from the last 30 seconds of it playing if we start talking.
Yeah.
So it's better just go ahead and play the entire thing.
Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
In the early 1950s, U.S. planes were conducting low-flying recon missions over the USSR, but there were constant worries of them being spotted and shot down. So, in 1954, President Eisenhower authorized the development of a top-secret, high-altitude recon aircraft, dubbed Project Aquatone. The program required a remote location that wasn't easily accessible to civilians or spies. Area 51 fit the bill perfectly. It was in the Nevada desert, near a salt flat called Groom Lake. No one knows exactly why it's called Area 51, but one theory suggests it came from its proximity to the Nevada nuclear test sites. The Nevada test site was divided into number-designated areas by the Atomic Energy Commission. The location was already familiar territory for the military, as it had served as a World War II aerial gunnery range. In the summer of 1955, sightings of unidentified flying objects were reported around Area 51. That's because the Air Force had begun its testing of the U-2 aircraft. The U-2 can fly higher than 60,000 feet. At the time, normal airliners were flying in the 10,000 to 20,000 feet range, while military aircraft topped out at around 40,000 feet. So if a pilot spotted the tiny speck that was the U-2 high above it, they would have no idea what it was. And they would usually let air traffic control know someone was out there, which is what led to the increase of UFO sightings in the area. While Air Force officials knew the UFO sightings were U-2 tests, they couldn't really tell the public. So they explained the aircraft sightings by saying they were natural phenomena and high-altitude weather research. The testing of the U-2 ended in the late 1950s, but Area 51 has continued to serve as the testing ground for many aircraft, including the F-117A, the A-12, and the Tacit Blue. No one knows for sure what Area 51 is up to these days. The government never even publicly acknowledged the existence of the base until 2013, with the release of declassified CIA reports. But if you're ever at the Las Vegas airport, keep an eye out for some small, unmarked passenger planes in a fenced-off area. They're how Area 51 employees get to work from their homes in Vegas.
And when they're still going to have to wait 30 seconds for the video to end for them. So, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I've got a couple of quick stories for this. The first, before Area 51 existed, he mentioned this in the video, it was a bombing test range for pilots before they went overseas to fight in World War II. And out in the desert, there are actually giant swastikas that you can still see. You can go on Google Earth or Google Maps and look through the desert and find these swastikas. And they were targets because the bombers were training to bomb the Nazis. And that was something that they could identify in the air and know, this is where I dropped my bomb. And
Sorry.
the other story is actually about the U-2. My dad was in the Air Force in the late 60s, and he was in Vietnam for a while, and he was also stationed in Turkey during the Cold War. He loaded nuclear weapons onto B-52s. And the air base that he was stationed at in Turkey also had U-2 spy planes flying out. Now, my dad, working on nuclear weapons, had a top secret security clearance. And that was not enough clearance for him to go anywhere near the U-2 spy plane. He was not allowed to be on the runway whenever the U-2 was taking off or landing or taxiing or anything. But he knew when a U-2 was coming in, the pilot wouldn't even identify himself. He would just say, "I'm up here where no one else is, requesting permission to land." And they would have to clear the runway of everyone except the guys. The U-2 just had two wheels, one in the front and one in the back. And they actually had guys that would stand at the end of the runway before it would tip over onto its wing and catch its wings so it didn't tip over.
Wow.
And they had these little wheels with stands that hooked under the wing, and then they would tow it back into the hangar.
Interesting.
But that's how
That's awesome. I don't even have anything to add to that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how secretive the U-2 was. My dad had top secret security clearance.
And yet
it was still above his level.
And yet that's the Tacit Blue does look a lot like a Star Trek like original series Star Trek shuttle.
Yeah, it kind of does. The A-12, of course, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm pretty sure that's the modern SR-71, which we really don't need anymore.
Yeah, we really
we do
don't.
have satellites that take pictures now, and I don't really see a reason for another high-speed reconnaissance plane, but hey,
Set after the show.
the Air Force wants what the Air Force wants.
Yeah, pretty much. And Area 51 was just another Air Force base. That's all it was.
That's all it was. It was an Air Force base where they tested top secret planes. And the people that work at Area 51 don't actually drive to the base. The way that they go to work, they live in Las Vegas, and every day they have to go to the airport in Las Vegas and go to a special, what's it called? The place where you get on the plane. They have a special place, and they get on a plane, and the plane flies them to Area 51. And at the end of their shift, they get on the plane and fly back to the airport in Las Vegas, and then get in their cars and go home.
It must suck to come into work late for Area 51 then.
Yeah.
It's like oversleep.
Well, I think they work, they have lodging there, so they fly in for a shift and spend a few nights and then fly out.
Okay, that would be different than not doing it every day then, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass commute to work when you have to drive to the airport every day and then fly somewhere and then fly back and then drive home.
Well,
yeah, Bill Burns, the guy I was talking about before, he's one of those crazy UFO guys that liked to film those planes and harass the guards at the outermost fencing posts of Area 51, where they have all the signs that if you go past this point, you will be killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Well-
one of those crazy people.
Well, we did
They
have
have
we
the
did
authority if someone is walking around, they do have the authority to arrest that person, even if they don't cross the actual barrier.
Yeah, they got threatened a few times on UFO Hunters, which I'm sad to say I used to watch quite religiously. Yeah. But
We
yeah,
were-
they got warned a few times that they'd be arrested if they didn't stop what they were doing. And there's a lot of footage that they weren't even allowed to show because it was basically illegal.
Well, we were going to play this UFO hotel video, but it's around 12 minutes long. So we,
Oh yeah, yeah.
want to do that or not?
That's a little too much for this stream.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. One thing, there has been an uptick in quote unquote UFO sightings since Starlink started putting satellites up.
Yeah.
Because people had no idea what it was. They would, be outside and see this string of 20 glowing things moving across the sky and think it was UFOs and report it or film it. There are a lot of videos on YouTube of Starlink and people saying that it's UFOs.
Yeah. But next up, we have a Fox News report. I do not like Tucker Carlson, but yeah.
Okay, well, this is Mick West, and this is another one of the 3 videos that the Air Force released a little while back. This is the Tic Tac video, and the History Channel did an entire episode about this, and the pilots saying how it moved erratically, but it wasn't the actual pilots or anything. It was, conspiracy theorists. So yeah, the History Channel is bullshit. But this is Mick West's Tic Tac video, and he just released it a couple of days ago.
I'll go ahead and get it played then.
In 2017, a Navy pilot was widely reported as describing a UFO he saw as a big tic-tac.
And a white, 40-foot long, tic-tac shaped object.
This description caught on, and numerous sightings since then have been described as tic-tacs, when they might in the past have been described as cigar-shaped or oval. One of these tic-tac sightings from June last year was recently recycled on UFO Twitter. I tried to explain it was just a plane, but some people thought that the fact that it seemingly had no wings and was moving oddly behind trees proved it was not a plane. So to illustrate what was happening here, I waited for a suitable plane. Here's Alaska Flight 2425. Firstly, the lack of wings. If we zoom in on the video, we can see there are actually no visible wings. But if we get a better camera and zoom in, we can see that there actually are wings. You just can't see them in the phone video because of the low resolution and the use of digital zoom. Wings are nearly always in shadow, so they fade into the sky far quicker than the brightly lit fuselage. Secondly, the odd movement. This is camera movement. If there's trees nearby and you are filming a plane, then it will eventually go behind a tree. To keep it in shot, you move the camera. This makes the plane move relative to the tree. This effect can be compounded by digital zoom, which applies image stabilization to the video, keeping the tree from moving around in some portions of the shot, and enhancing the illusion that the plane is rapidly moving around. Since this plane here has a contrail, we know it's not rapidly moving around, and the tree certainly isn't, so all this motion comes from the camera. Of course, not having the contrail just makes the illusion even more apparent. Here's a small plane at 10,000 feet. Here's the shot with the big camera. Note the wings are dark as they are in shadow. Here's the iPhone video on full digital zoom. I'm moving the camera and the camera is stabilizing, so it's minimizing the movement of the tree, creating a very dramatic apparent motion for the plane that you could easily be forgiven for thinking was some kind of advanced technology craft. But it's just a plane lit from above and a low resolution moving camera with digitally stabilized zoom.
Yep, and now 30 seconds of me waiting for them to say something. This is a very entertaining stream, isn't it? Are you not entertained? Do, 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 do.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking, even though it was like 5 seconds before the video ended. But that wasn't the Tic Tac video that I was thinking of. But yeah, a lot of people are calling planes Tic Tacs now because of the original Tic Tac video, and that's all it is. It's just shitty digital zoom where you're not getting enough resolution to see the entire plane.
Yep.
That does look pretty cool, though.
Okay, so I actually have a UFO story that I have been neglecting to talk about that I actually saw myself. I have no clue what happened or everything, but I'll just say what.
Well, before we play that, I do want to point something out in the chat. I assume that's Vish that said it, but crappy camera equals truth.
Yeah.
That's literally flat Earth 101 for you right there.
Yeah.
The crappier the picture, the more flat Earth proof it is.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean,
this.
look at the Black Swan. It's
Yeah.
a shitty picture. You know, everything is distorted terribly in it.
Yeah.
But then you get
yeah.
a picture on a day without a ton of refraction where everything looks normal and it's hidden behind the curve.
Yeah. But yeah, this happened to me back in 2015, I want to say. 2015 or 2016, I can't recall right now. I was just sitting in my den, minding my own business, watching TV, when all of a sudden I heard what sounded like a sonic boom, followed by the earth kind of, I can just define it as an earth shake. This is South Carolina I live in. We don't have earthquakes. The earth literally shaked. Everything in the whole room moved. Like, what would happen if you had an earthquake? So I walked outside. I saw 5 lights in the sky just sitting there, and then suddenly they all flew up. So
cool.
I don't
when
know.
did you say this was?
It was around 2015 or 2016. It's around 4 or 5 years ago. And I have a friend that can verify everything that I just said because he saw it too. And I actually talked
Maybe
with
2014,
or it might have been 2014. It could be. It's around there, around that time frame.
because there was a 4.1 magnitude earthquake in South Carolina in 2014.
Yeah, that's up north. I'm in the southeast. No, I'm northeast. Yeah.
Yeah, you're northeast. Because I'm southeast North Carolina, and we're like 45 minutes apart.
Yeah, I'm northeast then, yeah. But then what about the lights? I mean, I could chalk that up to aircraft that I don't know, but I talked with the Air Force pilot, and he said there were no scheduled flights around that time. So I mean, I'm just saying what I saw.
Did the earthquake startle you or scare you at all?
No, it was just really weird.
Were you smoking?
No.
You do have to realize that there's the Army Air Base in Columbia.
Yeah.
There's Fort Bragg. There's Pope Air Force Base. There's Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. There's crap. I can't think.
There's
of the
a lot
name.
of Air Force bases.
The Marine Air Corps Base. All have flights that will fly over you. So
yeah,
it could have simply been a group of Air Force planes that were flying towards you and pulled up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and
I can say that. I mean, I'm not saying it's aliens, but
yeah, there are a ton of Air Force bases here. It's a regular occurrence for me to have like A-10s flying over my
Yeah,
house,
yeah.
or Apache helicopters, or Black Hawks, or C-130s, or I see a whole lot of Air Force and Army and even Marines. The Marines don't come in this far inland most of the time, but sometimes they do.
Well, I mean,
So every once in a while I'll see like an Osprey.
I actually had a friend back then that was a air traffic controller, and like I said, I talked to him, and he said there were no scheduled flights for anything at that time. So, I mean, yeah,
Well, air traffic control doesn't handle military.
yeah, but
I mean, they can, like, if the story of the SR-71 speed check. I don't know if you guys know that story, but
then okay,
years and years and years ago, I think it was near Los Angeles, a little like Cessna, 2-passenger plane did a speed check with the air traffic control, and the air traffic control said, I've got you at 80 knots. And then a little bit larger, maybe a Learjet or something like that, does a speed check, and they're like, I've got you at 200 knots. And then like a Boeing 737 tries to one up them and is like, I've got you at 330 knots. And then an F-18 or F-16 or something like that is like, oh, I'm coming through, I'm gonna get them. And they're like, I've got you at 570 knots. And then the SR-71 navigator clicks on, and he says, I need a speed check. And he's like, I've got you at 1,380 knots. And then it was just complete silence from everyone.
Ow. But yeah, I can't explain what I saw, but I mean, I don't know what I saw. Quite frankly, that's why we call it UFO, because it's unidentified.
Yeah, exactly. It's a UFO because you could not identify it.
Yeah, exactly.
Does not mean that it's aliens at all.
Yeah, it could be
just means that you don't know what the fuck it is.
Exactly. I mean, I do believe that aliens might exist, but do I believe that they've come here? Probably not, because their technology.
If they come here,
we have flat earthers.
Yeah.
They've either they haven't come, or they've already been here, and they are just so technologically advanced that they said fuck it and they're hiding from us.
Yeah, because they know we try to bomb them.
I mean, if you think about it, the closest that alien life could come, because we're pretty sure there is no intelligent alien life in our solar system.
Yeah.
So the closest that aliens could come from is
Andromeda.
the Andromeda galaxy.
Yeah, Andromeda.
And that's, what is it, like 5 light years or something away?
Something like that.
So unless they have some technology where they can fly half the speed of light, it's going to take hundreds of years to fly that far.
Yeah, because we don't actually, there's no way to fly faster than the speed of light. Meaning, unless they found some way of bending rules of space-time, there's no way they could get to us. What was that?
Well,
I said warp drive.
Wait, warp drive.
Yeah, Alcubierre? Alcubierre, I think.
But that's not actually. But that's not actually. That's not
Spaceballs. Ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed.
No, I mean practical. Alcubierre drive. It would require more fuel than we can calculate at the moment, but.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. There are these things called the laws of physics, and you really can't break them.
If you got an intelligent civilization that's got a couple 100,000 years on us, it's entirely possible they could have come up with some sort of similar drive that doesn't require that much,
Well, see,
energy.
in Star Trek, they don't use actual chemical fuel except for in smaller craft, like their shuttlecraft. Their shuttlecraft actually does use a liquid fuel in some series. I think the original series only, but in the rest of their starcraft is all dilithium crystals, which we don't. That's not actually a thing that exists, but nuclear energy could probably do it. But then you'd have a nuclear space drive, and that would be kind of dangerous.
Well, I mean, we have sent nuclear spacecraft into space.
Yeah.
Voyager 1 and 2 both had a nuclear battery. And that's why they have the long legs sticking out from the sides, because the battery was nuclear and the radiation would screw up all the instruments, so they had to stick it out as far away from everything else as they could get it.
So yeah, we would still have to worry about.
Was it from,
we would have to worry about it. Yeah, doing that.
What was it from Futurama, where the spaceship travels faster than the speed of light, and Kubert says that's impossible, and they said, well, that's why scientists raised the speed of light. He's like, that's also impossible. I love that show.
It's also why they renamed Uranus. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
What did they rename it to? I completely forgot now.
Your rectum.
Oh yeah, your rectum. That's what it was. They renamed Uranus because of the obvious joke.
Yeah, so they named it your
rectum. And Vishanti let me know earthquakes are not an uncommon occurrence. It is where I am. Earthquakes are not very common where I am. I have not felt an earthquake since that day, in fact.
Yeah, I've only felt a few.
I've only felt that
remember
one.
the Washington, D.C. earthquake back in like 2011 or 2012, something like that?
Yeah.
We felt that here on the North Carolina, South Carolina border. And I had gotten home from work, and my ex and I were sitting there watching TV, and I was dozing off in my recliner, and all of a sudden she wakes me up. She says, I think we're having an earthquake. And I wake up, I'm like, huh, that feels weird, and then fall back asleep.
But I've only felt it that one time. I've only felt what can be described as an earthquake that one time, and it only happened like 5 seconds. So I mean,
yeah, that's all that one was.
Okay.
And in fact, he had a good response to the renaming of Uranus to your rectum. Damn near killed him.
Yep.
Ha ha.
God damn it. Well, anyway, we don't have just videos tonight. We do have one article which you can see on the screen. So at least you can read that without having to catch up with the stream.
And how much do you want to bet that there are tons of conspiracy theorists out there that have not read more than exactly what you see on the screen right now and say that that's proof that there are aliens?
Yeah, probably.
They'll burn.
Because I know people that, well, I don't use Facebook that much anymore, but I know people that will read the article of a Facebook, post and just completely, not read anything of the actual article. Just read the title and assume they got all they could out of the article from just reading the headline.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
the headline and the header.
Synopsis. Yeah, the header.
Sometimes, yeah. They'll just read that and be like, oh, well, okay, that means there's UFOs out there. That means there's aliens.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. It's the CIA just tracking things that they don't know what they are.
Yeah.
That were in the sky at some point.
But yeah,
it
Quiddy's
could be a Russian spy plane, a stealth plane. It could be the Mexican Air Force.
the Mexican Air Force.
Or the Canadian Air Force.
Oh, that's even better.
Accidentally crossed over to the U.S. and we didn't know about it, and so it was unidentified.
Wait, the Mexicans have an Air Force? That's how they get.
Well, they have a space program.
That's how they get all the Mexicans into our border. Then that's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, their space program. They fired a rocket to the moon to carry the whale from South Park.
Oh God.
Oh, thank you, John Rapp. A link to the speed check story with the SR-71. It is a really good story because the pilot's like that's the moment that my navigator and I bonded, because he was thinking about doing it, and before he could, he hears the click of the radio, and his co-pilot or navigator, whatever it was, beat him to it and did the speed check.
But yeah, Quiddy's, can you read this or not?
Give me 1 second.
You don't have to read it from the stream. Read it from the Discord.
Sorry, I had to type heist real quick.
Wow.
Let's see. Yeah, let me just pull it up on my.
You can do that too. You can pull it up on your computer too.
If I can find it.
It should be in the green room.
Oh, there it is. Found it.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can now easily download all CIA UFO documents to date. The Black Vault has released hundreds of public PDFs containing CIA information on UFOs. In anticipation of the government's official UFO report coming in less than 6 months, thanks to the COVID-19 omnibus bill. Let's see, this was January 11th. Okay, so thanks to the COVID-19 omnibus bill, you can now download all of the publicly available CIA documentation on UFOs. The Black Vault, a clearinghouse for declassified documents, has released a downloadable document archive filled with PDFs containing CIA files on unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, the government's preferred term. Some of the reports date all the way back to the 1980s, and according to the site's founder, John Greenwald Jr., the spy agency claims this is all of its documents on UAPs. According to Greenwald, around 10,000 Freedom of Information Act reports were filed to obtain the PDFs, and the process was an excruciatingly long one. He scanned the documents all by hand. Quote, "Around 20 years ago, I had fought for years to get additional UFO records released from the CIA," Greenwald said in an email to Motherboard. "It was like pulling teeth. I went around and around with them to try and do so, finally achieving it. I received a large box, a couple of thousand pages, and I had to scan them in one page at a time." According to a blog announcing the archive, the CIA created a CD-ROM containing previously released records, as well as those the Black Vault was attempting to unseal. To ensure the Black Vault has as complete a record of CIA documents as possible available, it purchased this CD-ROM in mid-2020. Okay, I'm confused. CD-ROMs still exist in mid-2020?
Yeah. I was about to make a similar observation.
I mean, we're talking about aliens, and they're like, yeah, we got a CD-ROM.
Might as well say floppy disk. I mean, we got a 5-inch floppy disk.
Yeah. Got a 5 1/4 floppy disk here. We're going to upgrade to laser disc in 2022, I believe.
Oh, God.
Back to the article. The Black Vault blog notes that the CIA claims that this represents all its documents on the file, but there may be no way to verify that, and other documents may be out there. Quote, researchers and curious minds alike prefer simplicity and accessibility when they look at data dumps such as these, Greenwald said. The CIA has made it incredibly difficult to use their records in a reasonable manner. Imagine that.
Yeah.
They offer a format that is very outdated, multi-page .tiffs, and offer text file outputs largely unusable that I think they intend to have people use as a search tool. In my opinion, this outdated format makes it very difficult for people to see the documents and use them for any research purpose.
Well, yeah.
According to
I mean,
Greenwald,
who still uses TIF? Who uses TIF anymore?
I honestly don't know if I've used a TIFF in like 20 years.
Yeah. It's mostly about the JPEGs and, well, JPEGs and PNG files, but that's about it. I mean...
I think you can still save to TIFF in Microsoft Paint.
Well, I mean, TIF is good for text documents, but nobody hardly uses those because we have PDFs now, which are better.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, PDF kind of made TIFF's
obsolete
thing of the past.
Yeah, obsolete.
Obsolete, yeah. All right. A little bit more to go in the article. According to Greenwald, there have been thousands of downloads within the first 24 hours of the release. From a dispute with a Bosnian fugitive with alleged ET contact to mysterious midnight explosions in a small Russian town. The reports definitely take readers for a wild ride. Some of the documents are crisp and clear, while others are nearly indecipherable. One of the most interesting documents in the drop, Greenwald said, involved the Assistant Deputy Director for Science and Technology being hand-delivered some piece of information on a UFO in the 1970s. The first UFO information to be declassified under Freedom of Information Act laws came in the 1970s and early 1980s. After this, Greenwald said it was exceptionally difficult to obtain information from the government regarding extraterrestrial phenomena. Quote, plain and simple, the public has a right to know, Greenwald said. When I began researching nearly 25 years ago at the age of 15, I knew there was something on this topic. Not because of viral internet hoaxes, not because of backdoor meetings wherein I can't tell you who, but I promise it was mind-blowing information. No, none of that. It was simply because of the evidence that I got straight from the CIA and the NSA and the Air Force and the DIA. I feel I am achieving what I set out to do. Easy access to important material for people to make up their own minds on what is going on. The CIA did not respond to a request for comment.
Yeah, they generally don't do that. They generally...
Yeah, they don't really talk to the press very much.
I feel bad for that dude. He wasted 25 years of his life.
Yep.
Arranging documents from the CIA.
Damn.
Arranging TIFF files from the CIA.
Arranging TIFF files. God.
I'd do that for about a day and be like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to go do something else now.
Yeah. Since he was 15.
I don't want aliens anymore.
But since he was 15, like, damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, I started researching UFOs when I was 15. Gave that up when I was like, okay, if I'm being honest, 20-something. But, yeah. I realized once I was an adult that, yeah, UFOs are just aircraft.
And I've got...
Now...
Tell me this is fake.
Don't say anything about it. Don't say anything about it yet.
Well,
Well, let me say this real quick, but I don't. Oh crap! You were playing it. Sorry, delay. I don't doubt that there is some sort of life somewhere else in the universe.
Oh, of
The
course.
universe is far too big. There are far too many galaxies. There are far too many solar systems, far too many planets for there not to be life somewhere else. But it's so far away that will another alien species travel to Earth?
Yeah. Plus, if they do
That's the
exist,
big question.
we still can't go faster than light because that's an improbability.
Yeah, we're talking just to the closest solar system to ours. We're talking with, modern technology, hundreds of years of flight.
Yeah, they would have to
Well,
literally.
see, that's just it. We wouldn't actually be meeting them itself.
Our great grandkids would be the ones landing. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just it. We wouldn't actually be sending anybody of our own or receiving anything from them. It would be more of a probe, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's
Speaking of probes.
Speaking of probes,
Segue.
nice segue there. We have a video here
Great
of and this will be the last video we show tonight because yeah. And always end on a laugh. Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
Hey guys, J0. If you're like me, which a lot of you are, we're just normal people, I have a very deep and almost crippling fear of being abducted and explored by aliens. There's just something about, knowing that there are beings out there who can travel through space and time and even other dimensions to come to this planet and explore our bodies through our no-no regions. So that's why I have developed the APP system, the Anal Probe Protection System, for my butthole's protection. These will fit easily into your everyday carry bag, your bug-out bag, or even just slip it into your pocket and carry it around with you every day. That way you're always protected. The APP system is made from the most durable and high-quality heavy-duty aluminum foil available. They're not going to get through that. That's right, guys. The APP system is designed to protect you and me from all of those unwanted alien probings. This can be yours for only $19.99 plus $700 shipping and processing. And if you call within the next 24 hours, you will receive another APP system for a friend or your loved one for absolutely free. Just pay an additional $700 shipping and processing fees. Just remember, guys, APP, I never leave home without mine. I am ready for those pesky aliens. And my butthole will thank me for it. Have a great day. God bless. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.
Buzz, buzz. The end. God. And now we have to wait for them to catch up.
Yeah. Did he say 700 in shipping?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And my butthole thanked me for it.
Oh my gosh, that was brilliant.
The 700
I'm
extra
glad
in
I
shipping.
found that. I found that like an hour and a half before we were supposed to go live.
Good find.
Yeah, great find. I didn't see it either, so that was a surprise for me too.
Yeah. I just figured, everything we had was pretty serious. We needed something funny.
Yeah. Yeah, everything. Yeah, all the except for that one that we couldn't use because tech issues.
Well, we'll have everything fixed by next week so that we can fuck it all up again.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Tradition.
Exactly. It's the Bunker 33 way.
Do we know what next week is yet?
Last week, though.
No.
Okay.
No, we don't know what next week is. This one came naturally last week. Just we're like, yeah, we're doing any of those. Fuck it.
So anyway, I guess that's about our show. We've been going for, let's see, when did we start?
About 9:50.
We started just before,
Feels like 4 years ago.
just before 9 o'clock. So kind of a short show tonight, but we did have one video that we did want to do, but with how everything's screwed up, it's just not really
feasible.
viable to do that.
It's not feasible, yeah.
But yeah, final thoughts. We'll go around the table and get final thoughts from everyone. Let's start with you, For No Raisin. What are your final thoughts?
Oh my god. It was funny, it was priceless, and yeah, Area 51 is just top secret spacecraft. It's simple enough. Anybody who has a problem with it, really?
Yeah. There are always going to be conspiracy theorists. If there's something secret, people will invent conspiracies because people...
Yeah, there's going to be low-grade cameras and everything, too.
Exactly. And notice how any quote-unquote, UFO footage that you find on the internet, it's going to be a cell phone camera. And it's going to be digitally zoomed in all the way, where it's pixelated as hell and you can't tell what it is. Because that's the only way you can say it's a UFO.
Oh shit, I cannot believe I forgot that Gina woman. There's this woman that Logic has been doing videos on, and she's a firm believer in UFOs because she thinks birds are UFOs.
Yes. Oh my god.
Birds are UFOs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First I thought they were drones.
Yeah, she thinks that birds are in fact UFOs, and
she
she'll
thinks
just
clouds are
she takes a
UFOs.
picture of birds flying, and she just hovers her mouse over random parts of the bird, and she's like, and that's the engine, and that's this, and she names parts of the spaceship.
And she thinks clouds
it's
are
like the wing and its tail and
Yeah.
its body.
And she thinks clouds are like parts of Nibiru that fell off. Like, yeah, she's just all around insane. I think that's why Logic does videos on her.
Definitely sounds
forgotten about her.
I just thought about her randomly for some reason. I don't know why.
And there was another channel that I tried all week to find that I thought was perfect for this. And it's this guy that just, he takes videos and then he inserts really, really bad clip art into the videos and claims it's UFO sightings.
That sounds funny.
Well,
I know that someone in the community debunked him like a year or maybe a little over a year ago. And I couldn't remember who it was, and of course couldn't remember the guy's name. And I looked through everything trying to find him and couldn't. But anyway, Batch, what are your final thoughts tonight?
We briefly mentioned Roswell. I think whoever from the Roswell Air Force who said to the papers that they found a flying saucer, freaking genius. Because they got a cover up for whatever projects they were working on over there just from that headline alone. And that cover up is still going on today.
No. I've got to talk about this for a minute here. The Roswells first started off. They originally said that yes, it was a UFO, but then they retracted that and said that it was a weather balloon. Then they retracted that and said it was a spy satellite that had crashed. And then they went back and said, oh, it was a UFO. So that story changed like all the damn, like every year it seemed to change to something different.
Oh, yeah, but someone in the Air Force still said it was a flying saucer when they knew damn well it wasn't.
Yeah, they knew exactly what it was.
They're freaking genius.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying no comment, they fed the people something they would eat up.
Well, they fed that farmer what he would eat up, and then that farmer went and spread it to newspapers. But then they went back to the newspapers themselves, and yeah. It's insane it's insane just what the whole Roswell story ended up being.
And we're going on 80 years of that, and people still think that
Yeah.
UFO crashed in Roswell, New Mexico.
And
Yeah.
People are still dominating up to this day.
Yep.
Yep, I couldn't hear
All
what
right,
either you
Christopher,
said.
what are your final thoughts?
There is no. We don't know if aliens are out there, but if they are, they probably don't give a shit about us, or they just don't have the technology to get over to us to know that we are even here. Because they're probably at the same technological level that we are. Either that or they're less advanced than we are. So, yeah.
Yeah. We have to assume that they probably don't have anything more advanced than we do, because it's hard for us to imagine anything more advanced. Because we have a pretty firm grasp on the laws of physics and the laws of thermodynamics.
But that's an argument from
what is and isn't possible.
But that's an argument from incredulity, dude.
Shut up, Nathan.
But yeah, I agree.
Right,
I agree with Quiddies on that. I agree with Quiddies on that.
I've gotten into the last of my Christmas chocolate, so my final thought is Christmas chocolate is still good in January.
Well, yeah. Christmas chocolate's always good.
It's chocolate. When is chocolate not good?
Yeah.
When it has orange in it.
I've had some citrus chocolate that's been pretty good.
No, orange chocolate's disgusting.
I love orange
Nothing
chocolate.
orange chocolate than orange.
I fucking love orange
Not
chocolate.
with orange chocolate. Oh, raspberry chocolate is delicious.
Oh, it is.
I'm eating a fun-sized Mr. Good bar.
I literally just had three orange chocolate things, like that I ate
I'm
recently.
speaking Nutella.
Nutella's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean the
Nutella's
actual
one
like.
of those things like you get a craving for it and you can't rest until you have it, and then you have it and you're like, okay, cool, and then you don't eat it for 6 months.
Nutella also is a great lubricant, to like industrial lubricant, for machinery and shit.
I was going to say it kind of looks like something. I don't know if I would be using that as a lubricant.
No, I'm serious.
Wait,
If you don't
did I miss something?
if you don't have petroleum jelly, you can actually use Nutella on a short-term basis for lubricant.
Aha.
I think I'll stick to my grease gun for my tractor.
Yeah. I just yeah.
Anywho, that's our show, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on that note, bye everybody.
Lesson for the night: don't use Nutella as anal lube.
Yeah.
Good
do
night,
not.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.